Good morning, traders. So today I'm going to start off with something a little bit different. I thought for those traders who may be struggling out there, for those traders who may be doubting if they're going to make it or not, I just want you guys to remember one thing, that the chances of you being born is 1 in 400 trillion. And the chances of you becoming a successful, consistent trader is 1 to 5%. But the chances of you being born is 1 in 400 trillion, which is a lot less than you becoming a successful trader. So what I want to remind you guys is if you ever feel like that you're not going to make it, just remember that statistic right there and how slim of a chance it is that you are here right now. Now, with that in mind, that should give you the power to keep on pushing forward. It's all about consistency and discipline. Consistency and discipline. You follow those things, you will get it. And remember that the chances of you being born was 1 in 400 trillion, so I know for a fact that you can make as a trader. So with that said, let's get right into the technical review. So first thing, like always, we always like to start off with the foreign markets. So let's see what the foreign markets got going on today. Let's get over to there. All right, Hang Seng Index. Closed a little bit on the lower side today, nothing unusual. Maybe a little bit of consolidation, but it ended up holding the 17.2 level. So that's pretty good. Let's see how the German DAX is performing so far. Let's flip over to the daily. So we end up gapping, I wouldn't say a gap, but we end up closing lower on the DAX. We're coming to that 15.2 level, so it's going to be a major area of support to watch. If we can hold that, then it'll support more bullish price action upwards. If we fail 15.2, then you're going to get a push probably down to 1500 and watch that gap fill out 14.922. And then on the FTSE 100, we're still open, and it is absolutely getting wrecked. What is it down by so far? So we're down by 1.25%. So that's going to be a major effect on the market right there. So I would really watch to see if this ends up continuing. We can get a major drop on the S&P today. I just want you guys to keep that in mind. So I'm expecting some pretty bearish price action on the S&P. If this candle closes out like this, the FTSE 100 is usually, and the German DAX are usually a very good way to see how U.S. markets are going to behave. So just keep that in mind. Let's see how the pre-market are doing for the S&P and the big holders. So Tesla right now is bouncing off of the 206 level. So the big thing to watch today, if we can hold 206, you can get a push up to 217. If we break down 206, then watch 191 on Tesla. Next is going to be Apple. So the big thing on Apple is that 180-155 support. As you can see here, it's holding up pretty nicely. So if we end up breaking 180-155, I would watch it move down to 180-179. If we end up holding 180-155, expect a push upwards. I would say not to 190 in one day, but in general, it'll support price action in that direction. Microsoft, let's see how we're doing. So we're bouncing off that 360 level. Let's see where that puts us on the daily. So let's say we open at 360. That's going to put us right around here. If we break down 360 on the daily and we close the candle below 360 on the weekly, that'll give it room for a push down to 351. I would not be shocked if you get that, considering the big rally we've had on Microsoft lately. I would expect a push down to make a higher low and then a higher high to push right through. So that's what I'm going to be watching on Microsoft for today. Now NVIDIA, let's see how they're performing. So NVIDIA pre-market is not holding up that 468 level, so it's starting to break it down. So the big thing to watch on NVIDIA is if we break down 468, that's going to give room for a push back down to 437. If we go into the daily, if we close out the daily candle and the weekly candle below 468, then that's going to give, that will give room down to 437. Now what you might get is just a higher low to push up to a higher high. But keep in mind, you're still within this range of 468 and 405. 437 just an intermediate level, but the main levels are 405 and 468 on NVIDIA. Now, if we close above that, then the next week, that's going to give room for a push to 500. Now we're going to go over to SPY and see how we're doing. Pre-market, let's go over to there. All right, so pre-market. It looks like that we're breaking down 434, but also holding it up. So the big thing to watch is, let's see what candle says. So if this 9 o'clock when it turns 9 o'clock and this candle closes, if it's below 434, that's going to give a room for a push down to 431, 430, 425, and 420. If we close above 434, then you're going to probably see a push to 437, 438, retest 438, and then get a push down. That's what I'm going to be watching on SPY for today. And then let's see how McDonald's is performing. Let's see here. So currently we're at, looks like pre-market 267. We'll go with that. Let's see where that puts us in the daily. So let's say we open at 267. So that's going to be an inside candle. And same case with McDonald's. I'm expecting a push downwards to form up a higher low, then higher high, then further push up towards 300 is what I'm expecting on McDonald's. And then let's see what we got for news today. I don't believe there's anything major, but I could be wrong. All right, Friday. I don't know why it's putting it this way, but it's an interesting way. I'll tell you that much. All right, so Dallas Fed President 9 a.m., 10 a.m. consumer sentiment. Yeah, so I would watch the consumer sentiment at 10 a.m. I won't be trading until after 10 then. Well, that's what I'm looking for today, traders, and